Alright, today I am doing a video on the Vivo Air LTE phone. It's a 4G phone, and I want to show you what the difference between that and my old phone are. As you can see, the screens are almost the same. I'm looking at a, let me see here. Oops. Okay, this is a 4.7 and this is a 4.8. So the screens are, this one's just a little bigger than my old phone. The colors look nice. I put the background, the original background here to kind of give you an idea of what this one has and sort of the menus and different menus here. Both of them are pretty fast. This one has a MediaTek and this is a Qualcomm 410 CPU, I believe. So let's start with the physical. Basically, if you look at this phone, it's a little chunky. This one, it's quite a lot smaller. This is a 5.1 millimeters thick, and obviously this is about 7 or 8, I forget, somewhere on there. The reason I chose this phone is because I wanted to try another phone, another Chinese phone, because I really like the hardware that you get. Or I should say, you get more bang for your money when you use this sort of Chinese phones. Even though this one never had any updates. I decided to give it another try because Blue, the company that makes this, it's actually based in Florida, so I wanted to give them a try and try a whole different vendor and see how that would work out. I just had it for a few days. I have used it a little bit, and let me show you something. You can go on the web and find out everything that it comes with, but I want to show you the case right now. This is the case that I have on the back. If you've seen any other videos, you'll notice that you actually get this case included with your phone, and a lot of the Blue phones seem to do that, which is great because you always end up having to buy one. So if I look at the phone by itself, it has a glass finish on the back, and as you can see, it's a 4G on there, LTE. It has I believe like 3 different bands for that. And one thing I found out is, well, let me finish on the physical here. The connectors, the earphones, and then your mini micro USB, it's here. So I'm basically using the same plug from the other one. I can use it. However, this one, the new phone comes with a flat cable, which is, if I can untangle in here, it's this one right here. And one thing I learned about the flat cables is that I don't like them. These things are very stiff, and because they're folded, they're either good or they're kind of broken. So I don't like this flat cables. It does work on this one. However, my headphones is the same way. It uses flat cable. Let me get them. And that's the other thing about Blue. They include a set of headphones for you. But I want to just go really quick through what I have here. This is what they look like. And then it has a button here for calling, I guess. Right here. That's what it looks like. And this is what they are. But they do, however, use a flat cable as well, which, again, I'm not a fan of. The reason I don't like them on earphones especially, these earphones, when you go to the park and try to jog or just walk around, well, jogging mostly, they tend to fall out. And as you can see, these things are pretty stiff. So sometimes what I do is I put them upside down and put this over my ear, and because these things are so stiff, they always kept coming off. So I couldn't even do that. They have to be like this all the time. and so I really hate the flight cables personally. At least I found out once I got these and started using them. Another thing is, because they're folded, let me see if the camera catches it right here. I had to kind of move this a bit because I don't know if it's kind of broken there or not, to get better the sound to come through. So that's the reason I don't like flight cables, and as I find out, I really don't even want to bother with them. The headphones do sound pretty good though, so I'll keep using these, but that's just something to keep in mind, and I hope they will change and get away from the flight cables, because personally I don't like them. They're just too stiff, and you can't really roll them up without having to bend them. So that's that. And the case, although it's thin, you have to really be careful because you can literally break it since it's open there and that's all you got. So I had to do that very carefully. And basically, even with the case on, you'll notice that it's very, very, very small. So I like that. The other thing, it has a it comes with a screen protector. They also include one, which is very nice, and that's the first thing I do is install those, if you can see there. I'm still working on getting the bubbles out. I had some very tiny minor bubbles, and because I tried to clean them up, it ended up getting worse. So there you go. You can't really see it because on the black part anyway. Some people will complain about the dark edges here. My old one has them too, same way. But if you really think about it, what happens is when you're watching a video or whatever, you tend to turn your phone this way, and guess what? Look, your fingers are always on there. So it's fine if you have them, because you won't be touching the screen all the time. Your fingers are going to be on the side. So that's, I think, the reason they also do that, and it makes sense. Your fingers are there, you're not blocking anything that you're looking at. That's just my take on that. I did like the that they included all that, so that's a pretty nice feature that you get on a lot of their phones. Obviously the reason I got this is because I wanted something lighter than this, and I don't like the big huge screens, and this was a smaller one that they had that was really thin. And of course, to my surprise, I'm still trying to get used to holding this because it's a little wider. If you look, let me close that. I don't know if the camera can take it, but I have the this plastic case on it, but it's definitely a little wider than the other one I have. So that takes some getting used to with these phones. One thing I found out is women do like to have the larger screens. As a guy, I don't, because you put this in your pocket and you always walk around with them, and either you could bend them or whatever. And as you guys know on the iPhones, this one's just slightly taller than my first one. So even though it's a little teeny bitty taller here, it's actually a lot thinner, and this comes in very handy in your pocket. Actually, this feels almost like nothing there, so a lot of times it just slides out in my car, but I can get in the car, in and out of the car without hitting anything in the middle like I do with this. Not to mention when I'm walking or jogging a little bit, this doesn't pull my pants down like this brick does. However, with that said, one of the things I found out about the thinness of the phone, when you get too thin, these phones have, see how I'm picking it up? Pretty easy. Well, when you get this thin, if you try to pick it up straight ahead, look, I'm barely getting any grip on there, so you'll do that a lot. You just slip. So I ended up just sliding it all the time. This one, I never had to do that. This one, you pick it up, but this, you have to do this all the time. Eventually that's gonna get all scratched, so that's why I recommend putting the case on the back, unless you like your glass all scratch. But that's that. That pretty much does the physical part about the phone there. So let me see if I can go to the software, which is the other main curiosity that I had, or I'm sure we all had. Let me see here. Give me a sec. Okay. One of the settings that this phone has is it has a 5 megapixel camera on the front and an 8 in the back. The front camera is pretty nice in terms of this versus the old ones that are like 2. It's a lot clearer and it's not blurry like every other phone I've seen. So that's really nice. Second thing, the Wi-Fi on this phone picks up faster than that one. I mean, they both work, but this one just about 3 or 4 seconds and I'm there. This one seems to take a little longer. The other thing, the icons. This comes with Lollipop 5, I believe. The icons are like the worst icons I've ever seen. They're just plain, you know, just an icon filled with the color. You don't have bars or anything, and that's kind of annoying. I mean, it's not a big, huge deal, but they look really plain vanilla there. The Lollipop has some other cool features that the other one I didn't have any on. The reason I got a Qualcomm too, I wanted to try the different chip. I want to see how they fare between MediaTek and Qualcomm. They both work really well, and apparently Qualcomm seems to have more open source stuff going on, so or a little more updated, I guess. I'm not sure, but let me get back to my train of thought here. So the Wi-Fi, that works. Oh, so the other part that I want to touch on is the GPS. The GPS on this phone works great, even offline. I have used it and it works pretty good. This phone worked like the first time I got it, and then it never worked after that, no matter what I put on there. So that just went out the window. Trying to use offline maps, which I have on here. I believe it's, if I can find them, maps.me. That was just one example. It works offline once you download it. It's kind of a big file. Place enable, okay, close. Alright, you can do all that later. But as you can see, you can always pretty much get back to where you are, and it does work on this one. So that was pretty nice. To actually see it working, so I can use that map if the Google Maps don't work, because I remember this is a I'm using the company that you pay for what you use, which is called US Mobile. It's similar to Ting, but I read an article about it, so I decided to try them. And so I'm always offline. I hardly use my phone to call anybody, so that worked perfectly. So I'm testing it out and it seems to be working fine. My previous company went out of business, Pitel Mobile I think it was, and for whatever reason they just went poof. So I had to get a new carrier and a different phone because my old phone didn't work on Ting, and I didn't check it with US Mobile, but there you go. That's how we ended up here, or I ended up here. Another feature I like about this, if you look at the clock there, not the clock but the different time zones. On this one I had to get, if I can find that, I had to get an app for it. I think I took it off. But here I can just go ahead and add, let's see here, settings, clock, automatic time zone. I can't add anything here, but if I go in here, I can definitely